Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to set up Skyrim Reborn. We will first need to make sure that Skyrim is actually installed and has been launched at least one time so that all of the required files can be loaded. Also, if you use a lot of mods, I would recommend doing a fresh game install to avoid any potential compatibility issues. Next, you'll need to download Vortex. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it, so you can skip ahead to the next timestamp. However, those of you who aren't, there are a couple more steps just to make sure your Skyrim is properly loaded and connected to Vortex. Now if you haven't already, we'll launch Vortex and select Games from the left hand side. We will then search for Skyrim. I use Skyrim Special Edition, so I will click Manage on that. I'll also note that if you run into any issues with Vortex being able to locate your Skyrim files, you can come here and manually select the file location of your game install. The next thing we'll want to look at is this notification on the top right about Skyrim Script Extender. So you'll want to follow this to the download link, as this is a requirement for one of the other mods we'll need. So when we follow this link, it will download a zip file. We can then take this zip file into Vortex under the mod tab on the left hand side and drag it out of our either file explorer or out of our browser into the drop files section. Alright, now we're on to the easier part. We'll be downloading these three mods here. This is as simple as clicking the Vortex download button or the manual download button, which will download a zip file like we did for SKSE earlier. However, I recommend just using the Vortex download button because all we need to do is click it, click download, click slow download, and then we'll see it start to download within the Vortex manager. Now we can do the same for the other two. However, with the address library, you want to go into the files and look at both of the versions. I originally tried the 1.5 version, but this didn't work for my client and I got an error. So if you run into an error when you first go to set this up, try the other version. This version is for Skyrim Anniversary Edition, the 1.6 version. However, I didn't think that my version was the Anniversary Edition, but this one is the one that worked for me. So just, if one of them doesn't work, try the other one. So we'll get all of these downloaded now. Now, this mod isn't strictly required, it's kind of optional, but you might face more issues using the in-game menu without it. I've still faced a couple of issues even with it, but it definitely helps to have it, because I feel like there would be quite a few more issues if I didn't have it. Now that the downloads are finished, we can see that they're all inside of our loader here, all fully enabled and installed. Next, we can see that there are unresolved file conflicts. This isn't too big of a deal. Because of the UI fix, we have a compatibility issue with that. But since it fixes the original Skyrim Reborn, we want to load that before and then load the fix. So then anything that the fix changes gets loaded after. Now we'll just click save. Now the last step before we can finally get into the game and actually make sure that it's working is to go to the dashboard. In the dashboard, we'll want to create a new version. For this purpose, I'll remove this one because I've already done it. So yours will look something like this, or it might be over cluttered. If you don't want it to be super cluttered, you can go edit dashboard and remove the tiles that you don't want. However, you'll find your tools section. Go add, go new, give it a name. Something simple like Skyrim Together is fine. You'll then need to set the start-in file. For this, you'll want to go to wherever your Skyrim is located. In my case, mine is located in my main drive, program files, Steam, Steam apps, common, and then Skyrim Special Edition. Within Skyrim Special Edition, you want to find the data file, and within that data file, you will find Skyrim Together. So, after you've located that file, we're going to click select. And then for the target file, it should load us straight into this section if you did the start file first. So we'll be inside of the Skyrim Together Reborn file. We then want to scroll down until we see skyrimtogether.exe. Now all we've got to do is press save. And now we're ready to test if it's worked. To do that, we'll click on the tool that we created for Skyrim Together. You can load into any game to test this, or even a new game. I'm just going to go into an existing game because that'll be quicker. Now the first thing you want to do is press F2. What you should see is something similar to this. This mention about Creation Club content shows up regardless. I thought that I had something extra that I needed to toggle and change and fix, but this isn't a problem, so just click OK on that. One quick other way to check whether or not you're all connected is going to the settings, and you can toggle the debug information here, which I have on at the moment. So now after clicking the connect button, we can see the option to input an IP and password. Currently for this tutorial example, I'm going to be using player.gg. This is a free hosting website that gives you an automatically generated IP address, and you can input and create your own password to it. One of the other options for hosting a server would be to host it on your own computer. I'll hopefully be uploading a video showing how to do this in the near future, so keep an eye on the video description for that. But for now, I'll quickly jump over and show you how to set up the server using player.gg. So setting up the server using player.gg is quite simple. You go to this server up here, player.gg, literally just search that, and you click get started. This will then link and authorize using your Discord. I'm assuming this is to help prevent botting and things like that. You just click the authorize button. Once that's authorized, you can go in here and set a couple of different settings. In here, you can create a password. I've just set 1234 for this example. They have it for Fallout as well, but it's currently not available. I think that's something that they're working on, or that they were working on that they might have stopped. They only have access to North America and Europe servers, but me and my friend from Australia, we play on North American servers and we do just fine. They have penalties for death. You can have PvP or no PvP, and you can select your difficulty level. Now, all we need to do is launch an instance. This will likely put us in a queue, but the queue times are usually quite short. This is another place where it would be nice to have your own dedicated server, as you wouldn't need to wait in these queues. The other thing to keep in mind with these is that there is a 10-minute timeout time. So if you're inactive for 10 minutes on this server, then you will get timed out and your server will close. Now, as you can see, it's given us an IP to use. use.playtogether.gg 10011. So we can copy this and then our password. Now I will quickly switch over to Skyrim and show you me entering that. Now, as I showed earlier, we'll want to press F2. We'll go to the connection settings. We will input that IP address that was generated, which I already pre-filled, with the password as well. Then we just simply click connect. As you can see, successfully connected to server, and on the top left it will also show a ping connection to confirm. At the moment, my friend is not online, so I can't show you him directly in front of me as I'm recording this, but I will add a couple of clips towards the end of this of us running around inside of the mines over here, clearing it out. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped. If you have any questions in relation to the setup of this, or if you run into any problems, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or you can even head over to my Twitch if I'm live for a more interactive help session, and I can hopefully get your problem resolved as soon as possible.